Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday, and welcome to our day 20 of 21 Yoga Challenge. My name is Antoinette, and I want to say thank you this morning to Sibley Hospital for sponsoring this series. We are now in the final phases of our practice together. I want us to start off in child's pose together. So, coming down to our mat. Remembering that child's pose can be different things to different people, as I was just saying to the students on Zoom. You might want to have a blanket to be able to pad your knees if you have knee issues. So that's a good thing to do. You can take it just gently down and then bring your knees to it. If you have a double mat, then that can be something that you can use as well. In child's pose, we could come down by taking our knees toward the edges of our mat and sink our buttocks low. We could start to bring our arms out in front of us and feel a nice stretch as we lengthen through the fingertips. Our head is down. My head is up so that you can hear me. And as we reach and extend and start to root down with the hands, we bring the buttocks toward the heels. If this isn't possible for you, remember you can keep the buttocks high and start to sink the heart low. If that's not possible for you and you come from a chair and you're practicing above, then remember that you can just bring the hands to the seat of the chair and start to hinge backwards, just allowing the legs to be long. But either way, in any way, you come to child's pose however you do. However you arrive in this moment on this Saturday. It is in this child's pose that the eyes can be closed as the head is down on the mat. That we can start to find that inhale in and exhale out, finding stillness and ease in the posture. Inhaling and exhaling to release tension. Noticing if there's any gripping anywhere that you might be able to relax in this space. If the arms start to get tired, you could always just bring the forearms down toward the mat. We breathe in and breathe out as we find our way to start our day with a morning practice of movement, meditation, breath. Today is going to be a good day. Tenting the fingertips like you're going to play the piano. Feel the strength of the fingertips as you push the buttocks back toward the heels, allowing the forearms to come off of the mat if they were down for a moment, just to kind of be in more of a restorative child's pose. Patting the hands, let's gently walk the hands over toward the right side of the mat. We immediately find that left pinky finger and start to let the energy travel up toward the shoulder head, down the rib cage on the left side, and then all the way to that left hip point. And we breathe here, allowing the chest to be light on top of the thighs, to feel that 3D expansion of breath. Finding gratitude in being right here and right now as we walk our hands back toward the midline. And then we'll head over, gently making our way over toward the left side of our mat. And again, finding that first reach and how that might feel in this first morning stretch as you reach through that right pinky finger. Letting the energy travel up the back of the arm. Maybe you feel the armpit or the chest. And again, the chest is light on top of the thighs, so you can take that deep inhale in and exhale out. And then make your way back toward the midline. And then come on to tabletop. As you inhale in and exhale out, finding your way. Just letting a few students in. Good morning to you all who've just arrived. And thank you for sharing a practice. We'd started off in child's pose for those who just came on, and now we're in tabletop. Again, patting the knees if you need that, remembering to make modifications to your wrist if you have any sort of wrist issues. Options can be to military style, make fist with the hands so that you take a little pressure off of the wrist directly, patting the hands in front of you, putting your forearms onto block. Find your way. We're going to first take movement to the hips as we circle them in a counterclockwise fashion. And as we make that motion, finding that little diagnostic look of right and left side as we make that motion. And then going in clockwise fashion. And then coming back to our midline, we're going to just take our right knee and hover it a couple of inches above the mat. As we do, when we start to lift that right knee and engage the leg, the core automatically becomes engaged. So as we take an inhale in, the navel comes back to the spine as we take that right knee off the mat. Hover that for just a moment, flexing that right foot. Just point and flex the foot. The neck is long, so you're taking a good deep inhale in and exhale out. This simplistic movement actually packs a little bit of a punch to start to really engage the abdominal core. And you notice why that's important, right? Let's take that right knee down for a moment. Now we're going to inhale and take the left knee a couple of inches off the mat. Navel comes back toward the spine. You could even take that left knee just slightly behind, maybe just an inch or so that you start to kind of access buttock and hamstring muscles. And pointing and flexing the feet. And finding your breath here as you inhale and exhale. Inhaling to go deep within your body. Exhaling to connect with the earth, with your mat. Left knee is going to come down now. Let's come off of the arms and reach up, giving ourselves a little break so we can come back down again as we rise up with our arms. Good deep inhale. Exhaling down, let's push the energy down with our hands. Our shoulder blades come back together, navel back toward the spine. Inhaling as we rise up, good deep inhale. Take a look up if it feels okay on the neck. Gratitude for the ability to move our bodies and breathe independently as we come down with the arms. Inhale as we rise. Again, accessing the core and then exhaling down the right arm. We rise up with the left arm. Good deep inhale here. Exhale as we head over to the right side. Again, this kind of first set of stretches, just like we were doing in child's pose, as we lengthened and reached through the fingertips. And then we feel that left hip flexor. Maybe that left part of the body, left part of the stomach area. Coming up, reaching up, good deep inhale as we rise, both the arms. And then exhale down, left arm. Rooting down and rising up with the right arm, inhaling. We exhale and head over to the left side, jutting out that right hip. And we rise, reaching up with the inhale, both arms coming up. And on the exhale, drawing the arms back down again. So we're going to work again once more by lifting that right knee up on the inhale. This time we're going to circle that right knee like you're going to paint the face of a clock. So it can go out toward the edges of the yoga mat. And remember your breath. That good deep inhale in and exhale as you circle and externally rotate that right knee. Notice what kind of comes up as you go there. Now you can go as big or small as you want. You could just paint a tiny circle on the floor. Or you could lift that right leg up and then come down, depending on what your hips allow for today. again, as you make that circle, finding the core. Drawing the navel in toward the spine as you make that circle of the hip. Pause here. Now let's take our right foot and bring it out. And then come back in. So extend and reach. Right pinky toe comes down and then we come back in. Finding your breath as you kick out. We're going slow so you can find that right hamstring and buttock. And access that as you kick out and then come back in. Kicking out, lengthening, and then coming back in. Inhaling as you kick out, engage the core, then come back in. Let's go one more time. And then come back in. Bring that right knee down. Come off of the hands once more, rise up as we inhale in. Exhale out, arms extended outward. Again, finding that good deep expansion with the breath as we broaden the collarbones, letting the shoulder blades come together, dropping the shoulders down so that you're really reaching and extending without using those upper trapezius muscles of the shoulder and neck. As we inhale in, opening up like you're going to give someone a giant hug, and as we exhale, start to round the back, take the hands together. You could slightly dip back if it's okay on the knees, and then inhale as we reach out and extend. Exhale, hands come together. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, together. So again, as you move back and forth in this motion, taking the navel back toward the spine to engage the core, finding the movement that resonates with your body, audible sighs. As the hands come together, drop the hands back down, and then let's make our way over onto the left side. You know where we're going to go with this. So again, you could make fists if the wrists are starting to find some tension. Bring the forearms to a block. Find your way. Gently bring that left knee off the mat. Hover it a few inches off the mat as you inhale in. And then counterclockwise, so we're externally rotating that knee, start to make a circle. Again, you can draw the circle as small as you want, or slowly start to lift that left leg up as you make the circle, rounding the hip. And we breathe here as we inhale in and exhale out, externally rotating that left leg. Lots of things going on at my house, fax machines and laundry and things like that. So if you hear noises in the background, that's what's going on. It's Saturday morning. Rotating that left knee. On that next rotation, let's extend that left leg. So kick out and start there first. Left pinky toe comes down toward the mat. So that way you can find that alignment. Start to draw that left heel in toward the buttock. And then as you inhale, kick back out again. Exhale, coming back in. Inhale as you kick out. Again, navel back toward the spine, engaging the core. Coming back in. Kicking out. Coming back in. As you kick out, really lengthen and kick out with that heel. So these micro movements allow us to really access the muscle groups as we make the motion without rushing to get there, so that we're really aware of what's happening in our own bodies, what might come up. And then also by going that slow, we're able to protect ourselves by making modifications that we need, pushing ourselves to our own personal edges. Last time, as we bring our heel in toward the buttock, kick out, extend, and now bring that left leg down. So just like we started off at the very beginning of the practice, start to bring the knees toward the edges of the mat and then sink back towards your child's pose. Remember, child's pose can be buttocks high, heart low, forearms on the mat. It can be buttocks come back toward the heels and sink the head low, allowing some release on the neck. Again, if you're practicing from the chair, it can be taking the hands to the seat of the chair and starting to draw the hips back as you lengthen the backs of the legs. Make your way there. Good morning to Mike and to Molly. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. From child's pose, come back to your tabletop. So you see there's a bit of a theme here before we start making our way up towards standing. I wanted us to focus on lower body, but in this motion of tabletop, almost simplified, right? In this kind of very basic posture, so many things can happen from that. Now we're going to take our right foot, bring it out. Splay all 5 toes as you push back gently on that right calf. So just taking some movement here, again, sensing the body as you push back on the calf, rolling up onto the great toe and the shoelace is part of the foot. You can draw the toes back toward the back of the mat and then gently start to drag that right foot, shoelace is part of the foot, up just a few inches so that you really access the front part of the leg. Knee engaged, quadricep engaged, and then push back again on the right calf. Again, making modifications to the wrist if they start to get tired. There's no reason why we have to feel any pain in the wrist. We'll gently draw that right heel over toward the right corner of the mat. Feel the outer hip. If you want to start to sink into that right hip, letting it travel down toward the mat. We start to feel that outer band of muscle from the hip point going all the way down the outside of the leg as we hinge in. And then gently, the windshield wipering that right heel over toward the left kind of corner of the mat. We'll pad the left hand and now pad that right foot and draw that right arm up to 12 o'clock as we reach up and extend. Right arm comes back just slightly so we're able to open up and find that mobility and reach of the upper body. And we breathe here, finding gratitude in being in this posture. Good deep inhale. Exhale as we send the right arm up and over the body. Again, you could start to draw that right arm slightly behind you, jutting out that right hip, if that feels good to you. Again, finding the movement that resonates with you now. As we inhale, drawing that right foot up, reaching up. Right hand can stay up to 12 o'clock, come to hip, your choice. Here we're going to again paint the face of a clock. Let's go clockwise just to start. The neck is long, so you're right in level of the mat, right? Again, rooting down with that left hand, we're not sinking into that left shoulder. So if we need to find a little extension here by tenting the fingertips, great. Or a hand can come to a block to give yourself that lift. And since we have time, you can play around with what works for you, what resonates with you today. Continuing that circle, let's go in the opposite direction, whichever way you started. Maybe you're in counterclockwise now. And again, this slow movement now allows you that nuance of accessing the abdominal core. Finding your way. Last time, now make a tiny pulse down and up. And down and up. And down and up. Last time, bring that right foot down, right arm comes up and over the body for a nice stretch again. maybe to take a look up if it feels good, and then let's windmill the arm down, circle it down, and go to the other side. So first start off by just taking that left foot out. Splay the toes back, push back on that left calf. You could flex the left buttock and immediately access that left leg and feel the left quadricep engage maybe. Pushing up onto the toes and then maybe onto the shoelace as part of that foot. Again, you could take the toes slightly behind you so that they're off the back of the mat for a moment, and then gently just drag the toes up a couple of inches. Again, so you can maybe access the front part of that leg. When shall I bring the left heel over to the left corner of the mat? Let's dip into that left side. Going as far as you want to go, we start to sink into that left hip, maybe feeling that outer band of muscle. Good morning, Jim. Coming back again, pushing back as we lift that left heel up. Let's make our way, taking the left heel toward the right side of the mat. Now as we pad that right hand, patting that left foot, and we reach up to 12 o'clock with that left hand. Rising up. Good deep inhale. And then exhale as we send that left arm up and over the body. As we pad that left foot, maybe now anchoring it, we can take that left hand slightly behind us as we open up and feel that extension along the pectoral muscle of the left side. Right? Reaching up and finding a nice release if that feels tight in our chest. Drawing that left arm up to 12 o'clock, let's start to now, on that inhale, draw the left foot up. We kick out with that left heel as we rise up. Start off again by making a circle with that left heel. Again, the left arm can be up to 12 o'clock or be on the hip. I'm going to face you guys. Sometimes I like to have my back to you so you can see what's going on behind as well. Right? Some people are actually watching, some aren't. All good. As you make that circle, slowly adding the nuance of making sure that you've engaged the core with your breath. Let's go in the opposite direction now. Again, you can go as big as you want. Just go slow. So remember circling that hip. As you round backwards, maybe you start to access the buttock and hamstring and hip flexor. As you come forward, maybe you start to notice what's happening in the abdomen to be able to lift that leg up with gratitude. Draw that left foot as you kick it out, and now make some tiny pulses. You should be feeling that left hip. Moving and breathing. Good deep inhale and exhale. So a little bit of Pilates today. Nothing wrong with that. Pause here. Left leg comes down now. Reach up and extend with the left arm. Left arm comes up and over the body. Just a nice stretch. And now circle over and down. And let's come back to child's pose. So you kind of see the theme here. This will be our third child's pose. It's a nice rest, but we can start to make it an active one. And as you start to sink, you start to feel the hips that you've just been working. So now we have just a little break. Remember, your head is down, right down on the mat. And perhaps if you haven't yet today in your practice at the beginning, maybe you start to find some inspiration for an intention for today. Presence, kindness, gratitude. Maybe there's somebody you need to reach out to today. There's so many people that are hurting right now in COVID, in life. Let's come back onto our tabletop. Knees are hip width distance apart. We're taking that right foot out toward the right corner of the mat, left hand out to the left corner of the mat. Inhale as we lift up the limbs. Now as we lift up the limbs, taking a moment now to take that right pinky toe down toward the mat. Neck is long so that you're reaching. Some people call this pose bird dog, as you reach and extend and lengthen. We're going to modify our bird dog by taking our elbow and our knee in toward one another. We hug it in on the exhale. And on the inhale, we reach and extend slowly. Jutting out that right heel, we kick it out and then bring it back in. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, contracting. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Last time as you exhale. This time as you inhale, reach out and extend, touch down, and then come back up. Touching down, lengthening and reaching. Touch down and lengthen. Touching down and lengthening. Last time and reaching. Pause here and come back to your neutral tabletop position. Let's go to the other side. Left foot out immediately toward the left corner of the mat. Right hand to the right corner of the mat. We reach and extend to start. Head is down. On the inhale, we reach and lengthen as we lift the limbs off the mat. Good deep inhale. Exhale, drawing elbow and knee in toward one another. Reach out and extend on the inhale. Exhale, coming in. Reaching out and extending. Exhale, coming in. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and hold. Touch down on the exhale. Inhale to lengthen and reach. Exhale. Finding your core, engaging as you reach. Last time. Touch down, come back to tabletop, off the hands as we reach up and extend with the arms. Good deep inhale here, rising up. Exhaling, pushing the palms down toward the floor. Just roll the shoulders back now. We've been on our arms for a little while. Now let's come up to stand. And then we'll make our way back down toward the mat. Rolling the shoulders forward. Rising up with the arms as we inhale. I'm just looking out at the snow. It's still very pretty. Exhale, coming down. So on our knees, we'll come up to standing together, taking that right foot forward. Take a moment as you reach up and extend with the arms. Clasp the hands together. So that right knee is just L-shaped. We grow taller with the fingertips pointing up toward the ceiling. And then let's just head over toward the right side, again creating some movement. Maybe round ourselves back toward the back or toward the front, your choice, and then head over to the left side. Continue that motion of circle. This is only if it feels good to you on your upper body. Again, as you make that circle, notice the abdomen as it engages. You don't have to make a full arc as you go behind to protect your lower back if you have issues. Go in the opposite direction. Make 2 circles. Come back up with the fingertips, good deep inhale. Hands to the hips, just gently bring that right knee back. Let's go to the other side before we come up. So taking that left foot forward. Again, padding the knees if you need to pad the knees. Reach up and extend, both arms come up. Take the knuckles as you place them in the opposite way of the way you had it. Reach up and extend so you find a length in the arms. Let the shoulder heads head down toward the mat so you're not hiked up. Pointer fingers come up, we engage the core, and then we start that motion, if you want, like you're going to paint the circle on top of the ceiling with the fingertips. Again, as you make that motion, just noticing what comes up in the abdomen. And then go in the opposite direction after you've made your 2 circles. Finding your breath as you go. Coming back as you draw the fingertips up. Hands come to the hips. Now you're going to come up to standing how you want to come up to standing. You could just gently tuck the toes of that right foot under and start to push yourself up and gently bring that right foot forward. Or if that's not possible for you, then come up to standing how it works with your body today. I'm just going to move my blanket. And then we'll pause here in this upright and vertical place. Taking a moment to just gently draw the toes off the mat. Toes come down. Drawing the heels off the mat. Heels come down. A gentle bend in the knee. We're going to start off with a quadricep stretch. So we find some weight in that left leg. We focus on something non-moving in front of us. If we have any issues with balance, first just taking that right foot off the mat, gently touch the wall, a chair, whatever might be closest to you or not. As you draw that right foot behind you, just bending that right knee, maybe start there. If you're able to grab gently your left outer right ankle, go there. This can be you, right? This can be your quadricep stretch. Maybe you want to have something a little more robust. So now you can grab the inside edge of that right foot and then gently start to kick out that right leg as you come into a dancer's pose. Drawing that left arm up, inhaling, and with each deep inhale and exhale, maybe going a little bit higher as you reach and extend, or staying right in your quadricep stretch and finding your breath. Right knee is going to come back down to meet the left as you draw that left arm up, and then circling the arms as you windmill them backwards, like you're moving through water, doing a backstroke. Right hand's going to come up now, and then we'll find our way to the other side. So again, just finding weight in that right foot, gently bring that left foot off the mat. First start with the balance if your balance is not on point today in your body today. If it feels good to you, then grabbing that left outer ankle, coming into your quadricep stretch here. Stay here and focus on your breath and your balance, or if you'd like more, grabbing the inside edge of that left foot now and starting to hinge forward, coming into your version of dancer. Again, reaching and extending, finding that something non-moving in front of you, lengthening with each breath, in and out. Another good deep inhale in. And as you exhale, drawing that left knee back, arm comes up, left foot comes back down, and then again, windmilling backwards. Finding your breath. Both arms come up as we inhale in, reaching up and extending. Exhaling down the right arm. We rise up with that left arm, reaching up. And then on the exhale, heading over to the right side as we jut out that left hip. Stay here, or again, make the circle. So it's taking that left arm and starting to draw the circle if it feels okay on the back. Just taking some new movement here. As you bring the arm forward, notice what happens with the shoulder head. Coming all the way back up again, reach up and extend with that left arm. Both arms are going to come up. We'll go to the other side, inhaling, exhaling down our right arm. Rising up with that right arm, growing taller on the right side of the body. Staying here and then reaching over and extending to the left side. Staying here or starting that circle. Again, clockwise or counterclockwise, gently starting to lead with the arm as you reach and extend and make a circle with the arm. As you draw over, maybe you start to feel a nice stretch in the hip as you start to C-shape the body. A little something different for today. Come back, good deep inhale, both arms come up, and then we'll exhale down the arms. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe you had some tension created here by doing that. So give yourself a little bit of reprieve, rolling the shoulders forward. Drawing the arms up, let's head into our warrior one. Exhale with right knee comes up. Again, finding our balance and strength and stability of that left leg. As we inhale, growing taller on the left side, and as we exhale, we'll step back to warrior one. Reach up. Now I'm going to add a warrior three for those who want to go there. So either you can start to place weight in that left foot, bring your hands to prayer. So if you don't want to go to your warrior three, which basically will be balancing on that left leg, stay in warrior one and find your breath and start to access the core. You can also just gently start to play around with gently starting to draw up onto the ball of that right foot if warrior three is not in your practice. If it is, we start to hinge forward and lift that right leg off the mat. Much like we did in bird dog, start to bring that right pinky toe down toward the corner of the mat. And then we start to lower that body just a little bit more so we can really lengthen and kick out with that right leg. And we find our breath here. And if we're ready, we could take our arms straight out, look down toward the mat, reach and extend, find another good deep inhale in, and then as we exhale, just gently land back into warrior one so we can all meet there together. Inhaling in. As we exhale, right arm's going to come down and we'll rise up with that left arm. Breathing in. Exhaling. Inhaling as we reach and extend both arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Left foot comes to meet the right. You know where we're going to go now. But first, find some ease and stillness. Maybe that's the first time you've done that. How exciting. Maybe it's the millionth time you've done it. And maybe you access something new. Good deep inhale here. That's what's so great about yoga. Exhaling down. However you arrive in your body today, and then you push yourself to your own personal edge. We reach up and extend with the arms as we inhale. We'll exhale, the hands come to prayer. We'll draw that left knee up. Left knee is bent. Inhale as we grow taller on the right side. We engage the core here. And then as we exhale, step back to warrior one. So again, be here in your warrior one. You can take your hands to prayer, everybody. And just find your breath here. Play around a little bit with balance by coming up onto the ball of the feet, finding weight in that right foot, and then maybe step back again, taking the heel back down. Or when you're ready, weight comes to that right leg and we start to hinge forward, lifting that left leg off the mat, coming into the beginning of your warrior three. You're looking down toward the top of the mat. Finding your breath, that left pinky toe starts to make its way down without hiking up. micro bend in that right leg, and we start to bring the body a little bit lower, finding balance and stillness. And then if we're ready, drawing the arms out, and we start to lengthen the body. And breathe. Finding strength in our own bodies. Another good deep inhale in. And as we exhale, bringing that left foot back, coming back to warrior one, rising up, both arms, every one. And then exhale, hands to prayer, left foot meets the right. In, breath. Out, breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Good deep inhale. Exhale. Another good deep inhale in, and as we exhale, Tadasana. Opening and broadening the collarbone. Chest expands, our heart opens to the possibilities of this day. We reach up and extend, good deep inhale. We're going to exhale and take that right knee up. We're going to step into warrior two now and then go into a half moon. I'll guide you there. As we inhale in, we're going to exhale and send that right leg all the way back. We're going to step into the warrior two that works for you. I made this tiny stance on purpose so that this is your warrior two today. Awesome. If you're ready to go into a deeper, more expansive warrior two, bending into that right knee, great. Windmilling the arms up and over the body. Let's find our way, our drishti over that left middle finger. Again, wiggle the toes so you're not death gripping the mat. Making your way here, inhaling in. So stay here. Or let's make our way to our half moon. Let's set ourselves up first. If you have a block today, taking that block at its tallest point and bringing it to that left pinky toe, and then taking it out diagonally away from that left pinky toe toward the left corner of the mat. That's your setup. You could bring your hands to your hips, and so just like we were doing in warrior one to warrior three, we could gently lift our heel off the mat so we start to feel weight in that left leg, and then come back down again. That could be your way of starting to prep yourself for your half moon. Coming back to warrior two, arms, inhaling. As we exhale, let's take our left hand to the block, right hand to our hip. We find weight in that left leg and gently bring that right foot slightly forward. We're looking down at the mat, just listening to the words. As we find weight in that left foot, we're gently going to draw the toes off the mat of that right leg. I'm going to step back a little bit so I'm not out of the frame. With each breath, we start to lift that right leg up a little bit higher. And first we start off, if this is our half moon for the very first time that we've ever done it, we just keep the gaze down toward the mat. That's enough. If you're ready, then you start to bring the gaze out toward the edge of that right mat, and then you continue the gaze out in the distance, and then maybe it goes right to the camera, right to where we're all practicing together in our virtual studios. And then maybe we start to draw that right arm up to 12 o'clock. And we kick out with that right leg as we reach and lengthen and extend. And with our good deep breath in and out, we feel the expansiveness of being in our half moon. Another good deep inhale in, and as you exhale, bring that right hand to the hip, gently bend that left knee, and land yourself back into your warrior two as you reach out and extend. If this was your first time to do it today, great job, congratulations. If you played around with it, awesome. Flip your front palm. Let's reverse your warrior as you reach up and extend. Good deep inhale. And an exhale, let's take the forearm to top of the thigh, rise up with that right arm, so we find length here. And then take that right arm up and over the body. a nice extension. We're going to circle the arms over and down. We're going to frame that left foot, bring that right heel off the mat, and gently start to bring the right heel to meet the left. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to take that left foot backwards, just step it back. Windmill the arms up and over the body. I'm just going to move around. And then let's make our way into our warrior two on this side. If you have your block, find your block and take it with you. We start to bend into that right knee. We'll place the block right at the top of the pinky toe and then just take it out diagonally just beyond it toward that right corner of the mat. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll bend the right knee as generously as you want today. And find your breath here as you reach and extend. Flipping the front palm, let's reverse our warrior. Rise up. Let's come back to warrior two. Good, deep inhale. And then exhale, we'll start to take our right hand down toward the block, right? If it's not, we don't have a block, we'll spider tip our fingers. Left hand is going to come to the left hip. We'll find weight in that right foot. And then gently we'll start to lift our left leg off the mat. Our gaze is at the top of the mat. And we stay here as we lengthen and extend that left leg. And then if it feels good to us, we can start to take the gaze toward the left corner of the mat. Continue the gaze to come out a little farther beyond to the left. And then maybe all the way to face one another as we rise up with our left arm, reaching and extending. And we breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling as we kick out. We start to externally rotate that left foot just slightly so that we can really find some length and extension as we reach and extend. Another good deep inhale in. As you exhale, left hand to left hip, let's touch back down, warrior two, windmilling the arms up and over the body. With our drishti now over our right middle finger. Inhaling. Exhaling, right forearm to top of thigh, and we'll reach up and extend with that left arm. Let's circle the arms over and down so that we can make our way down to the mat. A little lunge as you take that left heel off the mat, and then left knee is going to come down, right foot's going to come down, and then let's make our way all the way down. Let's come onto our backs. Be here for a moment before we go into our own Shavasana. As you lie on the mat, just taking a moment to settle the body in. And good morning to Craig, and good morning to Tosh. It's nice to see you and practice with you all today. Make your way down. Since we worked our hips quite a lot today, and hopefully you enjoyed that, let's draw our knees in gently toward our chest. Take a little rock back and forth from side to side. We'll take our right knee in toward the chest, extend that left leg long. Left calf begins to press down on the mat with the toes coming up. And we'll take a circle of that right ankle. With our right hand and our right knee, just gently externally rotate that right knee out toward the right side of the body. And on the inhale, lift that left arm up and over the body for a nice long reach. As you reach, gently touch down with your left hand if you're able to do that toward the floor, or even if it's only in your mind's eye. I'm still currently working on that with my shoulder. It's a goal. Good deep inhale here. And on the next breath, we'll gently take that left hand and find your right knee as you bring it across the body. We'll come into a gentle twist as we T-shape out that right arm. Good deep inhale in and exhale out so that we have that nice belly breath. We'll gently make our way back. Right knee comes back. Left knee will come in. Right leg comes out. And gently press in with that right calf. Circling that left foot. Externally rotating as we take left hand to left knee. Left knee comes out toward the outside of the body, and we'll reach up and extend with the arms overhead. Rising up as we lengthen. Arm overhead. Again, just noticing if you're able to touch down with the fingers of the right hand as it lengthens overhead. We never know how grateful we are for our bodies until we have a limitation that might occur. Taking that right hand, we'll take it across the left knee and gently bring that left knee across the body, twisting as we externally rotate and bring out that left arm, T-shaping it out. Finding some length, a deep belly breath in and out. Be kind. Be kind to yourself first today. And then be kind to those that you encounter. Animal or human or plant. Draw both knees back in toward the chest. Hug them in. And then let's come into a quick Viparita Karani before we come into our meditation. Here's your choices. If you have your block, here we've set ourselves up in bridge pose by bending the knees, soles of the feet on the mat. We can gently bring a block underneath the sacrum. If you don't have a block, you could take a blanket, patting it, and folding it. If you don't have that, then a pillow. Lots of options in your home studio. On the inhale, using the core, drawing the knees in toward the chest, bringing the feet up toward the ceiling. And you pause here for just a moment. If you don't have a block, you don't have a pillow, you don't have a blanket, just bring your legs up. Notice the sensation of that. You're looking up toward the ceiling. You could gently loll the head slightly back and forth from side to side. Toes can come back toward the crown of the head. You could fan the toes out and then point. Just taking movement that might resonate with you, making circles with the ankle. Remembering the positive effects of bringing your legs up into this inversion. It pushes the fluid down toward the lymphatic system. Right? You have these clusters of grape-like sacs that just come off of the pelvis and toward the inner part of the hip. And they help us transport our white blood cells and our fatty acids, and they help us transport waste through the body. So by extending the feet toward the ceiling, gravity helps us move the lymphatics into a workable place. So with my students with lymph nodes who've been removed from treatment, from surgery, this starts to become compromised and the legs start to become swollen. Or if you have cardiac issues, or maybe you're just starting to age, put your feet up. Gently start to bring the legs out toward the edges, feet come away from one another, if it feels okay. Again, pointing and flexing the feet. Circling the ankles. And only if it feels good on your lower back. Come back with the feet and gently bring the feet down toward the mat. Let's come into Shavasana. Remove the block or whatever you had underneath the sacrum if it was there. When you're ready, starting to draw the feet out toward the length of the mat. You could cover the body up. You could put yourself back into Viparita Karani with legs back up if you wanted. And bring yourself, if you happen to have a wall handy close by or a chair. Make yourself that 5 to 10% more comfortable as you come into your Shavasana. Good morning to Chris. I'm glad that you came on to Facebook if I didn't meet you in Zoom. So in your Shavasana, in your final rest, the mind rests at the place where the body touches the earth. So let the weight of this body sink into the space. Allow the shoulders, the shoulder heads to just gently come back toward the mat. Perhaps the palms can come up to allow that rotation. You allow a softening to occur with a quick body scan, noticing if there might be any tension held in jaw, in neck, shoulders. Allowing that release, that permission to just be. One of my favorite authors as you start to come into your Shavasana and find your way is Paulo Coelho. He wrote The Alchemist. And so today's reading comes from him about loving your path. So just listening to his words as you lie in Shavasana for a few moments together. You focus on the inhale and exhale of the breath. The air as it hits the nostrils, the gentle rhythm and tidal of breath, the settling of the body without anywhere to be for just a moment. The path begins at a crossroads. There you can stop and think about what direction you want to take. But don't spend too much time, or you'll never leave that spot. Ask yourself the classic Carlos Castaneda question. Which of these paths has a heart? The path doesn't last forever. It's a blessing to travel the path for some time. But one day it's going to come to an end. So be prepared to take leave of it at any moment. Honor your path. It was your choice, your decision. And just as you respect the ground you step on, the ground will respect your feet. Always do what is best to conserve and keep your path. And it will do the same for you. Be well equipped. Carry a small rake, a spade, a penknife. Understand that penknives are no use for dry leaves, and rakes are useless for herbs that are deeply rooted. Know what tool to use at each moment. And take care of your tools, because they're your best allies. The path goes forward and backward. At times you have to go back because something was lost or a message to be delivered was forgotten in your pocket. A well-tended path enables you to go back without any great problem. Take care of the path before you take care of what is around you. Attention and concentration are fundamental. Don't be distracted by the dry leaves at the edges. Use your energy to tend and conserve the ground that accepts your steps. Be patient. Sometimes the same tasks have to be repeated. Like tearing up weeds or closing holes that appear after unexpected rain. Don't let that annoy you. That's part of the journey. Even though you're tired, even though certain tasks are repeated so often, be patient. Paths cross. People can tell you what the weather is like elsewhere. Listen to advice, but make your own decisions. You're responsible for the path entrusted to you. Nature follows its own rules. You have to be prepared for sudden changes in the fall, slippery ice in the winter, the temptations of flowers in spring, thirst and showers, path, a mirror of yourself. By no means let yourself be influenced by the way others care for their paths. You have your own soul to listen to. The birds to whisper translations of what your soul is saying. Love your path. Without this, nothing makes sense. Inhaling to go deep within. Exhaling to connect the body with the earth. Peace. Peace to you. Peace to your body. Slowly start to make some movement to your fingers and to your toes. Wake the body back up as you move and breathe. If it feels good to roll over to your right or to your left side, either coming into a fetal position or lengthening and cradling your head in your arm, then do that. Loving kindness to you. And then when you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seat to finish our practice together. Day 20. Rising up as you sit in Sukhasana to finish your practice, or hero's pose, or staff pose with legs out, however you arrive. Keep the eyes closed to continue to be here, right now. And when you're ready, drawing your arm, your hands to prayer. May all beings be free of fear and of harm. And may we all be happy just the way we are. May we be at peace with whatever comes our way. And may we rest softly in the gentleness of our own hearts. Taking a good deep inhale in. Let's exhale and bow together, sharing the word, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for this practice today, for opening to some possibilities of new postures. I wish you all a beautiful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Namaste.